COVID turned out to be a non-starter. The Olympics were over budget by 400%. And then there was Kevin Hart and Snoop Dogg. This is Sports Curious, presented by Last Night's Game. I'm your host, Amy Butchon-Siegfried. Thanks for joining us this week. I am so excited about this week's podcast episode, talking about the Tokyo Olympics, a success or a failure. I'll give you a chance to be the judge on that. This week's episode is a tiny bit longer than we usually do it because we've made this kind of a good, bad, and ugly, if you will, of the Olympics, which takes a little more time than our rapid fire usual 4 or 5 minute podcast. Might be 6 minutes. Watch out. If you're like me and you listen to your podcasts on 1.5 times, you can be in and out and on your way in about 3 minutes or so. With that, let's dive right in. So first, let's cover the good. We can't talk about the Olympics without talking about COVID. The pandemic delayed the games a year, and while there were fears of a total outbreak, it seems like the precautions worked. A few high-profile athletes like Jon Rahm, the golfer, and tennis player Coco Gauff tested positive, but overall, COVID was a non-event. Americans Caleb Dressel and Katie Ledecky continued to dominate in the pool. He won 5 gold medals, and she made history, winning her 6th individual gold. There's no word on Dressel's future, but Ledecky has already promised that she'll be back for 2024 in Paris. And how can we not mention Snoop Dogg and Kevin Hart's commentary on the Olympics? It was basically the unsung hero of the games. They covered everything from Tonga's shirtless flag bearer to Tom Daley's gold medal winning synchronized dive. Although our favorite moment has to be Kevin Hart and Snoop Dogg's take on the dressage routine by Mopsy, the rave horse. Okay, so now let's tackle some of the bad turned positive. Being a good sport is in the DNA of the Olympics, and we have to look no further than the track and field competition. First, Isaiah Jewett from the U.S. and Miguel Amos from Botswana collided during the 800-meter race, and they fell. The two picked each other up and finished the race together. In the high jump, after tying, Mutaz Essabarsham from Qatar and Gianmarco Tamberi from Italy were offered a chance to have a jump off to determine the gold medal winner or share the gold. The two agreed to share the gold. The exclamation mark was Tamberi leaping in Barsham's arms to celebrate their co-victory. If you haven't seen this video, it is absolutely the best and the sweetest moment. The pure joy and excitement is amazing. It seemed like a death sentence for U.S. women's gymnastics and NBC's ratings when Simone Biles dropped out of the team all-around and subsequent events, but not so fast. With Biles out, her teammate Suni Lee won a gold in the all-around, Jade Carey won the gold on the floor, and Michaela Skinner won the silver medal on the vault. Every member of the U.S. gymnastics team went home with a medal, including Biles, who earned a silver in the team all-around and a bronze medal on the beam. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the ugly. The biggest gut punch was to the city of Tokyo. It's estimated that the city spent around $35 billion to put on the Olympics, a far cry from the initial $7.3 billion budget. With a year delay in the Olympics and no tourists to be able to come watch the games, it'll be tough for them to recoup their costs. According to a University of Oxford study, each Olympic Games since 1960 has overrun its budget by 172% on average. This Olympics was over budget by 400%. And it may work itself out in the ends, but the overall TV ratings have been down for the Olympics. Some cite the time difference, the confusion on where to catch all the coverage, and the prominent names of athletes exiting the competition early. The ratings, which are down about 42% from Rio, may cause NBC to have to make right with some advertisers. They sold more than $1.25 billion in commercials and are paying $1.1 billion for broadcast rights. Well, that's it for this week. Thank you so much for joining us. We love having you here every week. And if you're new to the podcast, head on over to wherever you get your podcast and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any episodes. Especially with the football season sneaking up on us here in August, we will have you set and ready to join the football conversation because there's no FOMO around here. We're here to make sure that you are taken care of. Don't forget to check out our Last Night's Game store at lastnightsgame.com for everything you need for football season, the Olympics, whatever that might be. For the favorite tailgate legend or that person who is the wine backer in your life. Use promo code SportsCurious for your listener discount. And last but certainly not least, we are so grateful that you are here with us today. If you really enjoy this podcast, please make sure to share it with a friend. That's how we continue to grow and continue to bring you this great free content every single week. Thanks so much. And don't forget, we'll see you here next week for another episode of Sports Curious. Stay safe, friends. Wash your hands.